Hey guys, this is Sean from Empty Church, bringing you the As Seen on Sunday video this week. I think the video is going to be a little bit shorter because if you can't tell with my voice, I've been sick, and so I think I'm just gonna lay down the basics and see where we get from there. Okay. Matthew 22:14 says, "Many are called, but few are chosen." And so that's where we're going to be kind of jumping off from here today. I see today's video and blog as it's a continuation from Jonah, the 4 sermons that came out of Jonah. I see this as a continuation from that thought. And so if you want, you can obviously go back and watch and read those to see kind of the thought processes that Josh and I had on those. And then you can catch up with this video. And so I already told you what the verse of the week is. But I'm not going to just leave it there. I want to give a lot of context first. I could easily say the verse of the week and then just tell you to grab your destiny by the bootstraps and become the chosen one of God. And that's not really what I'm trying to say here. I mean, it's there a little bit, but that's not really what I'm trying to say. So here's some context. In chapter 21, there is 2 parables, and then chapter 22 as well has another parable that contains our verse of the week. So there's 3 parables that line up right before our one line. And so these are the 3 parables. So the first one is about 2 sons. One says, heck no, I'm not going to go work in the field, then feels guilty and then goes and works in the field. The other one goes, oh sure, I'll do that, Father. And then he doesn't go. And Jesus says these parables as a way to call out the religious people, saying, hey, you're like this because you didn't believe John the Baptist when he came preaching the word of God. The second one is about a landowner who builds it up, hands it over to some tenants. Of course, they kill servants when they come to collect, and ultimately the landowner's son is killed. And then, of course, the religious leaders are like, of course, they'll go destroy it. Well, that's the whole point, is that Jesus is that son that is killed by the tenants. He's talking about them once again. And then the third one that contains our verse of the week is about a wedding banquet. And so no one shows up that are supposed to show up. The dad goes, well, go bring us people from the streets. So they fill the place up. And then he eventually sees a man who's not dressed correctly. We assume that since other people were dressed correctly, that the king obviously would have dressed these people, would have given them clothes. So this person by choice came in and did not dress appropriately for the occasion, and they're thrown out in weeping and gnashing of teeth. And that's when Jesus says, for many are invited / called, few are chosen. So a lot of places you'll read just jump right into Jesus basically saying that the Gentiles are included along with the Jews. And you could get there with this passage, or all of them, all 3 actually. But that's not where you're supposed to leap right away. The context is the Pharisees, the priests, the religious leaders, the elders, all those people. That's the context. Jesus is talking to them and saying, you're supposed to be one way. You're pretending to be one way. you're pretending to be like super elites that are in touch with God, but you're not. And so actually the very people that you disparage, you hate, you destroy, you look down upon are the very people that are included. The tax collectors, the prostitutes, the untouchables. They're the ones that have hearts that are ready, that are fertile, that accept God, versus you elites that can't even see the Son of God when he's on the planet. That was Jesus's point. Now, when you extend that out, if you look at the religious leaders as a microcosm of like the chosen ones, because Israel's called the chosen people of God. And so you have the chosen people, and then you have the chosen of the chosen kind of thing. And so you extend it out, and yes, now we're looking, the nation of Israel did not accept God and the Son of God. And so now the Gentiles are included to make them angry, so that they come back to him. Yes, all of that is true. But when you skip the first part, you're missing it. That's kind of self-centered, because we're Gentiles, most of us. And so we look at it and go, oh, look, Jesus is talking about us and we're included. But that's not just what it's saying. You kind of look at it, you look at it for the religious leader perspective, and you look at us, Christians, as being the religious leaders, the holier than thous, the looking down on people, and seeing that we're called, but many of us are not chosen, just like they were not chosen. The parallels are a little bit more scary than if you look at it as a broad, like, Gentile thing, a non-Jew thing. Then you're like, oh, we're so happy. But you look at it as us being the religious elites looking down on people, it gets a little bit more scary, because a lot of people feel that they have a call. But this says many are called, but few are chosen. So I think what we're trying to get at is, who is chosen? So just like Jonah had this unrepentant, unloving heart, so did these religious leaders. I think that's what this whole thing is a warning of. They thought they were superior, deserving, all those different things, where they're elites, they can't be compared to these other people, and that's why they deserve to get all the good things. I think that's where we're at with this whole thing, is, are we the ones that think we're deserving of God's grace, God's love, and that makes us want to ignore those who we see as undeserving, shouldn't be loved by God. Jonah didn't want to go and preach to the Ninevites because he knew God would give it to them. Right here we have Pharisees who wouldn't even consider that lowly people could be loved and accepted by God because they were superior. The untouchables were untouchable. They couldn't even go to temple. Right? And so that's where I'm at with this. Is, sure, there's a lot of people called. In a lot of Christian circles, we pretend everybody's called. Maybe that's true. There's a plan for everyone's lives. Okay. But do we accept it? Do we answer that call? Are we chosen? And I don't even know. I struggle with this idea of we make it happen. We make our call happen, or make our being chosen happen. I think it's a hard issue. And so we're chosen because we have a heart that God is willing to work with. What's crazy is that God works with hearts that we don't even think he would work with. Like Jonah's heart. He hated people, but God still used him for the greater good. I think that our parable today describes hearts that are turned towards God and are renewed by God. We have a wedding banquet with people who don't belong there. And they put on the clothes of the King. And that's putting on Jesus' righteousness. It's putting on the things of God that we normally wouldn't do because they're not our ways. That's what The Chosen is about, I think. That's what Chosen is about. Well, that's where I'm going to end. Thanks for bearing with me and my voice. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. Next time my voice might sound more normal. For more ways to engage your faith in the 6 days between Sundays, check out our website at www.empty.church. And as always, my name is Sean. I know it's not the same as being here, but you've just been to Empty Church as seen on Sunday. See you next week.